Almighty for all things in their life. So I think I've talked enough. I've talked for now. We can maybe have questions and things. The important thing is that the phrase I'd use is settling for second best. And there's more to life than this. I was in Piccadilly Circus last weekend in London. And there was a whole group of people, hundreds of people, they're all holding hands. And I thought, what's this supposed to be? So I asked one boy, I said, oh, what are you doing? He said, we're holding hands for love and peace in the world. And I thought, how pathetic. Really, because I could see they were good people and wanted good things, but they just didn't know where to look. Holding hands, what would that achieve? That's not going to stop the bombs falling, is it? It will bring justice to people in different countries. So all people are born yearning for God, but yearning for Allah. But kind of what Islam tells us is that all the other things we yearn for, whatever it is, whatever you yearn for, really it is Allah that we yearn for. So I would encourage you then to live a different life as Muslims. In this country, this is the final point. In this country, there are about 1.5 million Muslims. In London, there are shops and restaurants, and they say on the sign, fully halal licensed restaurant. You know, Muslim restaurants selling drink. Well, that's a shame. It's a shame. And when people see Muslims, you know, what do they see? Do they see boys using bad language? Do girls see boys at clubs, Muslims? You know, 1.5 million is not many out of like 60 million or so. But if you put them in a line, 1.5 million is a lot of them. It's a lot. So you can have a bit, put them in a row. That would go a long way. And people in this country should go, in Leeds, in your university, people should go, look, he's a Muslim. How do you know he's a Muslim? By the way he behaves, I wish I was like that. He's a good man. He's a real man. You know, he's not a pretend man having to show off and pretend he's something he's not. He's a real man. He can be relied on, he's trustworthy, he's honest. You know, he's prayerful, he reads Quran. He's a man I could rely on. He's a friend I could really rely on. He wouldn't let me down. That's Islam. And the way we dress should tell people things too. We should dress very modestly as Muslims. You know, not flaunting our beauty. Our beauty is inside. It is inside. But we should dress in a way that people say, oh, they're very modest people, Muslims. They don't show off. We're not saying people can't wear nose rings and earrings. They can do whatever they want. But we dress in a very modest way. Why? Because Allah asks us to. He tells us this is how you be. We are the most beautiful nation. An ummah justly balanced. Not straying to right or to left. But Islam is the middle way. And Muslims, boys or girls, young or old, don't go off that way, or they go that way, straight on. Islam is so beautiful. And in it, we find our complete happiness. So I think I've probably gone on enough. Sex, drugs, I don't know if I've hit the nail on the head or not, said what I should have said. But the important thing about it is, we must always remember Islam is beautiful. If we don't yet know how beautiful Islam is, if it's just talk, if we go to the mosque on a Friday and all we hear is wah, 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 and it isn't touching our heart, you know, we should maybe try a different mosque. Maybe speak to some good Muslims that you know. Look for good Muslim friends who can help you. You know, if you're not finding people who can show you Islam is so beautiful, well, you're in the wrong place, because it is. And more than anything, people say to me, well, what's the greatest problem with Islam today? The greatest problem is that we don't pray. I don't mean that we don't pray 5 times a day, but that we don't pray properly. You know, with all our heart and begging Allah when we pray, and asking Him to bless us and make us better. So I think that's it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Inshallah, we'll move on to questions and answers. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Otherwise, you can write
much is the book?
How much is
Oh, the book is £4. That's a fantastic question. And I'll dedicate it to whoever you want. I'll write it to your Auntie Joan or your Uncle Ahmed or whatever. It's £4. And it covers a lot of the themes. It talks about being a university student and all that kind of stuff. Are there any other questions about it? Following on from what we said. Sister, you're speaking